Hey guys, Russ Lyman here, and I'm with my buddy Carl.
What's up?
He writes music via chiptunes. He's got lots of equipment here. We kind of wanted to give you the inside look on how you would go about writing some music for video games or just music in general. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Alright Carl, so I don't know, you want to start off I guess with some of the bands that you're in? I know I have a few CDs I picked up from you. Are they solely you, or are you working with other people as well?
I guess I'd say they're mainly solo acts. I've been trying to work with some other people over the years to get some more stuff together, but mainly it's just been solo acts of various video game consoles, old retro stuff that I can get my hands on, or keyboards, and basically just try to produce whatever music, put albums out, or use them in a live setting on stage and mix with other instruments and whatnot, stuff like that.
Now, do you dedicate like each, I guess, band name to a certain style of like music?
Yeah, I guess that's where all the names came from. It's really just how I tend to categorize and keep them organized.
Okay.
When I first started, which would be Oxygen Star to be the first one, it was mainly just NES music or sampled NES sound clips and that I've generated, and then make new music from that.
Okay.
Then I wanted to do other stuff with like vocals and guitar, and I didn't feel like that would mesh with the same type of sound, so I created a new thing which sounded like a band, and that was the Sadness Project, which is just a Nintendo guitar and me singing on it.
Okay.
So that spawned from that, and then I found, yeah, it's just whenever I figure out new pieces of hardware and I start writing with it and it just sounds like something totally different, I tend to put another name to it to categorize it.
That's fine. This way it doesn't confuse
way.
people. Yeah, if they're like, hey, I really like the music that Where's Waldo?
Yes.
Was it, puts
Where's
out.
Waldo's the newest
So you're
one,
like,
yeah.
I'm just gonna follow that type of CDs that he puts out.
Exactly, because then I feel maybe not the same person is gonna like all the same styles anyway. They might only be prone to the one specific genre. Maybe they only want guitars and singing and NES. They don't want anything else, so then they would just follow the one name. And I feel it's, you know, it's just easier to keep track of, and it'd be a little overwhelming if I have all these albums out and it's all over the place, and then it's just like, what is happening?
Yeah, and then it makes it, say, more complicated as if you're pitching yourself to a to play a show.
Right.
Like, all right, can you send us a sample? Well, what are you
know.
looking for? I'd rather send you the band that
I know.
more of
Or
that.
they go online and look me up and like, I love this stuff, and I show up and I'm not doing that at all.
Right.
So
and they're
that's
expecting
that's
that
a
type of
problem
band.
too. Yeah. So it kind of, the name tells you what kind of style you're gonna get.
Okay.
Yeah.
I say, going off of that, what shows, if any, have you performed at that I guess are video game related or not video game related?
I guess they are video game related because we're all using video game consoles.
Okay.
But they're pretty much catering to the original music using that hardware.
Yeah.
So it's all 100% original. I played at various venues around New York, Philly, and Boston area, and Montreal.
Were they just, were they like dance parties, or like were they video game conventions itself?
Oh no, they were more so, we're going to see an event that's a venue, you're going to see a show, you're seeing the artist perform their music.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's in a live stage band setting.
I gotcha. So they were just going there strictly to hear the music.
Yep. I have done conventions in the past, like PAX East or Mad Classic. I played recently.
Okay.
And some other conventions. But mainly it's treating the music just like a regular band. Like they book four acts. You go into the venue and it's 4 people with whatever hardware they use.
Yeah.
And it's treated like a natural live band setting.
That's cool. So you show up to these events, and what kind of hardware do you bring? Do you have a lot of gear? Are you just playing just with a Game Boy? I've seen people.
Yeah.
How are you producing this live?
Yes. The majority people choose the Game Boy for the portability, because you throw it in a backpack and you can go on a subway, on the train, and you can play anywhere, and you just plug in and you're ready to go. And I've always been very jealous of that, because I tend to not use the handhelds.
Right.
I use stuff that requires some type of MIDI controller setup, controlling like the NES in real time, or I'll use one of these old computers back here and I have to bring the whole old laptop and play with that.
Yeah.
And then I like to play with a keyboard or a guitar. So yeah, it's adding a lot of gear to the mix. But I'm really trying this year to get into the more handheld devices like your Game Boy Advance or Sega Nomad, which you can make Sega Genesis music on and play out with that. So then I can show up finally with one little thing rather than a car full of wires and nonsense.
Yeah, I was almost gonna say would the show that you're doing dictate the equipment? Like, well, I'm going to New York. I know I'm not gonna have a lot of room. I'll just bring a backpack with a Game Boy and a few pieces.
Right. Or just this year was the first shows that I've been flown out. I played Seattle early in the year, and I actually played Mexico City a couple months ago.
Wow.
So I can't take all that stuff on the plane, so I had to really condense my setup, and I just narrowed it down to just 2 of my 90s laptops, and I just put that in the carry-on, and I just used the mixer that they had there. Okay. But usually I bring my own mixer, I bring a signal processor, a compressor, and like all this other stuff, but I really had to, scale it down, and that's the smallest really that I could make it because it had to fit on the plane.
Yeah. And you use that as your carry-on, I guess?
Yeah, so I carried it with me, so it was on me at all times. I actually brought 3 laptops in case, as a backup in case.
Yeah, absolutely. So far, it's like.
And they're of course freaking out. They're like, "What are these things that you're bringing through the
like customs and all that?" Yeah.
And they're like, "No, they're laptops."
Security.
They're like, "Why do you have these? What do they do?" And like, I make music with them. They're like, "Oh, that's cool." And they're all, but they're like, "These are
so
old."
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you do with these? Like,
what
calculations
is this?
and that's it.
It's a floppy disk drive.
Exactly. Yeah. But no, and that's why I had to really scale it down and just those were my carry-ons, was my 3 laptops, and that's it.
I would like mess with people and be like, I'm just out of college, I'm getting into Wall Street, I can only afford these computers with my loan, so.
Yeah, this is all I can afford and I gotta start somewhere.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Steady C has fun. Hot 16001. Yes, no BS, just raps for your face. Check the way I prance around, floozies in the trance. They shooting me a glance when I loosen up my pants. Looking fly is not an easy task when you're gleaming with.
Alright, so we're going to get into a few of the computers that Carl uses and programs when he's writing the chiptunes music. So what do we got here? This guy here, I guess we'll start with, it's closest to us.
This is, I believe, 98 or 99. It's a compact Armada laptop with a Sound Blaster 16 compatible sound chip. It's emulated, so it's not the actual sound chip sound card that comes in desktop PCs like this one. This is an actual one, but then they made Sound Blaster compatible laptops, obviously for mobile use, because they had to scale it down to fit in a laptop. So when I play live, I use these, which have the Sound Blaster compatible laptops. What I'm sitting here, I compose on a desktop, which has the actual Sound Blaster 16, and if I'm recording, I record from here, because it does sound better and it's more accurate. Essentially, you can just think of this laptop as a synthesizer. It's taking note data, and inside is a sound chip that you're telling what notes to play and telling it what to do. So this is just the instrument selection scene. So there's no samples, there's no like instrument I load in, like a saw wave or anything, or some pad sound. There's nothing I load in. This is all direct synthesis. Like, these are the parameters of the sound I designed, which sounds like that. So I think in like 2005 or 2006, I came across this program, and I was like, oh man, you can compose on the actual hardware and make ad-lib music, as they call it, or for Sound Blaster 16. So I didn't care how hard the program was. Yeah, I sat with it for months. No one even made any tutorials. There's nice help. There's help menus all inside, but no one really made any tutorials. So I actually made a tutorial, and it's on YouTube.
Oh, that's awesome.
If anyone wanted to get started with this program, it's just a tutorial in the basics for Ad-Lib Tracker 2. That's what this program is called.
So I'll have to add a link in the description if you guys are interested into that.
And it runs on MS-DOS, But actually, the guy who wrote this program, shout outs to Sub-Zero, who wrote it.
Okay.
He's actually supporting it again. It was for years and years unsupported and he wasn't working on it, but he picked it up again and he's been putting out new versions, and he actually ported it to Windows. So
Okay.
there's a real Windows version, so you don't need to, if you want to get started and just see if you like it, you can download it and use it on your Windows machine and just see, you know, if you like and want to get into it. Then you can maybe buy the hardware and hear it on that hardware. And it is really compatible. If you write, you know, 1,000 songs in your computer, you could go pick this up and just transfer them all and play them back. You don't, you're not at a loss. It's they can swap. They're interchangeable.
Okay, that's sweet.
And that's what I use the zip disks for. my transferring with zip disks.
Zip disk.
Yes.
Lost technology.
You gotta use the zip disk.
You could probably pick those up at Goodwills and Savers for like $2.
You are exactly right. I bought this for $2.99 in box with 5 zip disks for $2.99.
$2.99.
That's
Wow.
Savers.
Oh.
Yep.
So I was talking to Carl and I said, hey, you write music. I was thinking of maybe rewriting my music for my YouTube intro. And we could kind of go through the process of how we might do that, play off some ideas of each other and see how it goes. So you're laying the drum track down now and it just changes.
Yep, this is the sample channel, channel 5 on the MIDI NES cartridge. So these are just, every MIDI note is playing a sample off the cartridge. So it's all just various drums and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's all about the multiple layers of.
Yep.
You got your drums, the different types of keyboards.
Yep, it's just treating each MIDI channel like a different instrument. So triangle wave is channel 3, so I usually use that for bass. And I'll just step record it. I usually just do like a. I don't know, how's that?
Sounds cool.
Yeah, so now it doubles the phrase.
Okay.
It's like doing some stupid. What is? I don't even know.
Something
Why,
egg shaker.
yeah, I don't even know why it's doing that. Now I can come up with 6 leads.
So this would be like the vocals, like the.
Yeah. So what I do is I just screw around until something good happens, and I just use the good parts.
Okay.
I
So just let
really-
it roll and you just kind of record whatever and you're like, all right.
Yeah.
Get a feel for it.
Yeah, I just kind of BS it all. So I just play whatever I feel.
And just kind of see what you like.
And
guide
yeah,
over
any
that.
phrases that I thought were cool. And this I tend to not sometimes clean up. Like I put all the notes on the exact bar. Because if it sounds good, I kind of keep it like a. I might just move them all over, but to kind of keep more of a live feel.
Okay.
That someone actually played it.
Cool, guys. So thanks for watching. That was pretty much how to put together like an 8-bit song. Carl was kind of going through the program over here. It's going to be different for which program you choose to try to write your music on.
If you use a modern workstation, yeah.
Right,
It could be anything you want.
So the concept's about the same, though.
Yep.
And it obviously helps if you have a musical background, knowing about notes and stuff like that, and having a good ear to know what sounds.
Yeah, it's more. I think
tuned.
more the ear. Yeah.
Yeah. If it sounds good to you, then go with it. Yeah, so if people want to check out your music, where could they find it? Are you got on iTunes or like Bandcamp or something like that?
I would say Bandcamp is the best. I just put up pretty much the whole back catalog of all my albums over the past like 15 years.
Okay.
There's like 16 albums on there. You can pick them up now for just around $12 for like a minimum, just because they're past releases and I just wanted to put them out there.
So it's like $12 and you get how many albums? Like
16.
Wow. So
16 albums.
That's over like 4 weeks of music.
Yeah. And I plan to put a lot more music up there this year. So that's Planet Zaxxon is kind of like the name I came up with to organize all the stuff that I do related to lo-fi or chiptune or synthesized music. So it's just planetzaxxon.bandcamp.com, and you'll see all the releases on there. Pretty much if you just Google that name, Planet Zaxxon, you'll find my YouTube channel, the Facebook page, SoundCloud. I'll put other exclusives on there.
Nice.
Or like mixes I've done.
And I'll just leave all those in our description of this video so you can just find it easier.
And Twitter.
As well.
Everything is on there. I'm easy to find, Planet Zaxxon.
Nice, cool. Well, thanks for showing us around.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. We'll focus on your sticker here.
That's the spelling.
Pretty cool stickers.
Yep.
Kitty, do you want to be in the video too?
And my cat is crying.
Hey, baby.
No. Keep that in. Don't edit it out.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next video.